Um, I always forget to have yoga blocks next to me. And so I'm going to have them next to me because I always mean to have them with me. Yeah, perfect. So you guys have them close by if you do have them. Just because like for filming purposes, I'll always say, if you need a block, and then I don't really have one. And so I finally remembered today to put them beside me. And we will be doing one exercise where we're going to be working a little bit on core strength and a little bit of shoulder mobility. And it will help to accentuate it a little bit if you can have both of them by your side. So, but you don't absolutely need them. You can have the hands planted on the floor. It just, what we will be doing, and it'll be later, is, we're just gonna be pressing into the floor and just lifting up our bum and kind of trying to hold that to build a little bit of core strength, because we're gonna be working towards working on like crow with today's practice, and even like very, very modified variations of that. But we're gonna be working our strength up towards that pose. And all the blocks do is really bring the floor a lot closer to you, and it'll help bring the bum a little bit further off the floor. But it really doesn't matter if you don't have blocks with you or enough blocks for the both of you in your case, Cynthia. But it's not necessary, but for filming purposes, it's good for me to have. Alrighty, so we're gonna begin in like less than a minute. So we're gonna be starting on our backs. So take your time, make your way down. Salut Véro. Fait qu'on va commencer sur le dos. We're beginning on our backs. Just, I'm going to start playing the music. Let me know if the volume of the music, just by giving me a little thumbs up, volume of the music and sound of my voice is good. Not too loud on either end. I want us to be able to enjoy the music while also being able to hear me. Vero, ça va pour toi? Is it too loud? It's good? Perfect, everyone. Great. Yeah, I thought I saw down. I was like, oh no. Okay, perfect, everyone. So beginning on our backs, on commence sur le dos. Bienvenue. Welcome, everyone. It's nice to have you all here. And as usual, when we begin on our backs, please remember that this is about finding a comfortable space where you can maintain your breath while also maintaining the integrity of your spine today. So if your legs are long and you notice a deep curvature in the spine, that's somewhat uncomfortable. Then simply bend into the knees, plant your feet down onto the mat to allow for that curvature to minimize. Et c'est complètement correct si soit les pieds complets sont sur le tapis ou c'est seulement les talons. So if your legs are long and your heels are the only point of contact, I want us to pay attention to that. J'aimerais que vous preniez note de tous les points de contact de vos corps avec le tapis, avec la terre. What parts of your body are connecting to the earth, to the floor? And what do you notice here about the exposed skin, the areas of your body where there is no clothing? Maybe it's on your arms, your feet, your neck, your face. Maybe it also includes your belly, whatever is not covered by clothing. How does that feel? Is there a slight dewiness to the air? Do you maybe feel a cool breeze, or is it just feeling simple, similar to the other parts of your body that are covered by your clothing? Et maintenant, on prend note de nos respirations. I repeat this always at the beginning of class. This is our point of reference that we'll always come back to, noticing the way that the breath is traveling within the body. Des fois, pendant qu'on travaille, on arrête de respirer. Fait que vous allez voir que je vais noter soudainement de respirer. I will continue to repeat certain cues because through work, through stress, sometimes also through thinking of other things, we forget to breathe. I'm going to let us take one more deep belly breath. Full breath in through the nose. Feel the chest and belly fill up and rise. And part the lips, open the mouth, exhale. We're going to start off nice and simple. Bring your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a really nice squeeze as you rock side to side, giving your low back a little bit of a massage and connecting the low body and the upper body together. On remet les deux bras sur les côtés ici, arms by your sides. You can either plant your palms facing downwards or you can grip the sides of your mat. Inhale, extension in the legs. Don't lock the knees, flexion in the feet. And both legs, exhale, drop them down halfway. Try to keep the low back glued onto the mat. Point the toes. Inhale, rise the legs all the way back up. Flex into the feet, exhale, and drop them down to hover. Keep the low back glued into the mat, bend into the knees. Inhale, rise, flexion in the legs and feet. And exhale, drop them down halfway. Keep the low back glued onto the mat. On trouve un point avec les orteils. On inspire, on relève les jambes. Flexion dans les pieds. Expiration, on descend presque complètement, à peu près 4 ou 5 pouces du plancher. Pointu dans les orteils, pointed toes, bend into the knees. Rise, lift, inhale, flex. Exhale, drop the legs down halfway. Point the toes, inhale, rise. Excuse me, flexion in the feet. Exhale, drop them down to hover. A little bit quicker. Bend and rise, flex, breathe in. Exhale, drop down halfway. Challenge the body, point the toes, lift up, breathe in. Flexion dans les pieds, expiration, les jambes longues, on descend. 2 more times. Bend, point, breathe in. Flex, drop down halfway, exhale. Point, rise, breathe in. Flexion dans les pieds, expiration, on descend. This is our last one. Point into the toes. Bend and rise, breathe in. Flexion dans les pieds, on descend, un moitié. Pointed toes, breathe in, rise. Flexion in the feet, exhale, hold, and hover here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees into the chest, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a really nice squeeze, rock side to side. Good. We're going to release some of that pressure from the low back. We're going to come into bridge with movement. Les deux pieds sur le tapis, en distance de nos hanches. Feet or hips with distance and heels are really nice and close to your bum. Les bras sur les côtés. On inspire, breathe in, lift up your hips. Keep the chin away from the chest, squeeze for a moment at the top. Et très lentement, on déroule lentement une vertèbre à la fois. Come down. 2 more with movement and then we hold. Breathe in, lift. On inspire ici. On garde le plus haut possible. L'arrière de nos coups est parallèle avec le plancher. Exhale, 1 vertebra at a time. Lower yourself down. Last one with movement and then we hold. So breathe in, rise, squeeze, 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 squeeze at the top. Maybe hold your breath for a second and then exhale, lower yourself down. La dernière fois, on laisse les hanches dans l'air. Breathe in, lift up your hips. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. On essaie de décoller le menton de nos poitrines. Release your chin from your chest. You could keep your arms by your sides or gently shimmy the shoulders together to walk your hands to clasp below you. Take 2 more. Feeling that beautiful extension from your hip to your knees. Imagine it wrapping around your kneecaps and dropping back into your hips. Last breath. Bringing your arms back by your sides. On the inhale, lifting up your heels so that you're resting on the balls of your feet. Et ici, on déroule très lentement, slowly roll down, keeping your heels lifted. Control that lower, try not to drop down a whole chunk of your spine at once. And again, bring your knees into your chest and rock side to side. Extension in the legs, longueur dans les jambes, les mains en arrière de nos genoux. We're gonna rock and roll into a boat pose. So at least 3 or 4 rocks just to wake up the spinal column. And once you find enough momentum, try to kind of press those brakes. Yes. You're resting on your sits bones. We're keeping this really nice and modified here with the hands behind the knees. If you need more modification, just drop the toes down, almost like they're about to kiss the mat. Very, very gentle little touch here. Spine is nice and tall. We keep the shoulders really nice and rolled away. Beaucoup d'espace entre les oreilles et les épaules. We're gonna take 2 more. Shoulders drop. We're gonna roll back and find our way back into our boat pose. So try to do this with 1 shot. And again, almost like you're slamming the brakes. Yes, hold for 2. Maybe you challenge yourselves by lifting up the legs. Maybe you challenge yourselves by releasing the hands from the legs, but make sure you're not scooping into the belly. Last one. For safety, bring your hands back behind your knees. Une dernière fois, on roule sur le dos et on essaie de arrêter quand on rentre sur les fessiers. Yes, we're gonna hold for 2. Again, your choice. Either hands behind the knees or release the arms. Knees bent or extension in the legs. Last breath. From here, we're going to roll back and then come forward into a tabletop pose. So as you roll, come forward, cross your legs, plant your hands down, and you could pop or just simply unhook the feet 1 leg at a time and bring your legs back. Good. Les mains en dessous les épaules et les genoux sont à distance de nos hanches. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Looking forward, neutral spine, long neck. Take a deep breath in and out. On your inhale, slowly lower the belly as you open up the heart. Beaucoup d'ouverture dans la gorge, on garde vers le ciel. Beaucoup de curve dans le dos. Expiration, on pousse les mains et les genoux, rondeur ici dans le dos. Let's take 2 more. Belly lowers as the heart lifts, opening up the neck. Curvature and curve, that's what I was trying to go for. And then exhale, a rounding into the spine, pressing the pelvis forward, head is heavy between the arms. Let's do this 1 more. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, out the mouth or out the nose, your choice, rounding into the spine. Traveling through our neutral spine, flat back, breathe in. It's been a minute since we've done this floating tabletop. So we're gonna curl into the toes, lift the knees up about 2 inches or so off the floor. And trying to maintain that neutral spine, looking forward towards the top of your mat. Beaucoup de longueur de nos coups jusque la base de nos dos. Pressing into all 10 pads of the fingers. Last breath in and out. Hold your floating table for your breath in. And then press the hips up high. Chien à tête inversée, downward facing dog. And just shimmy the hips. Or pedal out the feet. We're keeping a micro bend in the elbows. And we're softening the shoulders away from the earlobes. Très, très lentement, on garde vers nos mains et on marche les pieds vers les poignets. Walk your feet up towards your wrists. On your next inhale, finding a halfway lift. Really nice flat back, crown of the head points forward. And then gently bend into the knees and fold over the legs. On va faire ça une autre fois. Just once more. Inhale, flat back. Le dos est complètement plat ici. Le cou est inclus. Expiration, on plonge. From here, forward fold, you're going to bend into your knees and you're slowly going to roll yourself up, circling the arms. Faire un grand cercle avec les bras. On garde vers le ciel, les mains en prière, hands in prayer pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's pick this up with a flow progression. Step to the top of your mat. Bend into your knees, circle your arms up, breathe in. On ouvre les bras et on plonge. Dive over your body, exhale. Half sun salutation, breathe in, halfway lift, flat back. And just fold here, on plonge, simplement expiration. Bend into your knees from your forward fold, circle your arms up. On expire par la bouche, les mains devant le cœur en prière. So we're always going to bend into the knees. We're bringing some juice and some flow into the legs as we breathe in, circle up. Swan dive over the legs, open up the arms, hinge at the hips, fold forward. On inspire, demi-remontée, halfway lift. Exhale, come into your tabletop pose, back down to your hands and your knees. Right away, drop the belly with a little bit of intent. We don't want to just dump it down, open the heart. And then we curl into the toes, down dog, exhale. On inspire par le nez. On ouvre la bouche, puis on expire. Come high to your toes, bend your knees, step, step, or just walk up to your hands, halfway lift. That's all one breath. Good. Exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Bend into the knees, circle your arms up, supporting this rise. Exhale, hands to your heart. On rajoute un petit peu plus, une modification avec Chaturanga. On inspire, bend into the knees, circle up. Cette fois-ci, on garde les mains en prière. Keep your hands in prayer pose, reach back slightly, and then exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. So we're already starting to bring some back bends into the practice. Breathe in, halfway lift. On trouve notre position de planche, on expire et on garde ici. Hold your breath, hold your plank as you exhale. Good, shift the body forward so your shoulders pass your wrists. Come down onto the knees and exhale. Keep your elbows glued to your side as you melt down. Back bend, baby cobra. Squeeze the arms towards your midline as you peel the chest up. Exhale, relax. Les mains en dessous les épaules, on vient sur les orteils, position de planche, breathe in, one swift move up. Gorgeous, exhale, hips high, down dog. Breathe in and out. Come high to the toes, bend the knees, step, step, or gently hop up, halfway lift. Et on plonge, on expire. From here, we're gonna find chair pose. So we're gonna keep the feet hips width distance. So we're not walking the big toes together. If you're not sure what that looks like, you wanna grab both fists and make sure that they fit really nice and tight in between both feet. Good. Bend into the knees, sweep the arms back and breathe in, into your chair pose. Exhale and sink back down. Take a peek, make sure you can see your toes. On veut voir les orteils. Try to drop the drop the tailbone and pick up the pelvis. Gaze is in between your arms for 1. Take a deep breath in, 2. Maybe you sink lower on the exhale. We have one last one. Hands come to heart center, prayer in front of the chest, breathe in. Lengthen the legs, exhale and fold. Demi-remontée, halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plank to a modified Chaturanga. Again, drop down onto your knees, elbows trace the sides of the body as you come down. On inspire, on décolle la poitrine et on colle les coudes vers les côtés. Et on descend, expiration. Hands underneath your shoulders, curl into your toes, plank, breathe in. Exhale, hips up high. Take a deep breath in and out. Big toes come to touch. Let's start with the right side. Breathe in, lift it up. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, rise. We're gonna twist, right knee, left elbow. Breathe in, lift. Cette fois-ci, même genou, même coude. Right side, right elbow, right knee. And we're going to hold here. So we're working towards a crow pose today. This will help us. Digging into all 10 pads of your fingers. Last breath, knee to elbow. Breathe in, kick up the leg. Look forward, exhale, step the right foot through. High lunge, breathe in, reach the arms up. And soften the back knee, slightly release the shoulders out of the ears. Take a breath in. Twist over to the right side, so face your bent leg, exhale. Hold here for one full cycle. Breathe in, come back to center with the arms and the torso, and then exhale, twist over to the left side. Hold for a cycle. Try to keep that right knee opening up. Inhale, back to center. Drop the hands down. Find your plank pose. Chaturanga, your choice, with or without the knees. Baby cobra or upward dog. Breathe in. Exhale, downward dog. Take a deep breath in and out. We're gonna find our chair pose for a second time. So come high to the toes, bend the knees. Les pieds vers les poignets, step or hop forward, halfway lift. On expire et on plonge. Position de chaise, deuxième fois, chair pose, second cycle, bend to the knees, sweep the arms back and up, breathe in. Exhale and sink down. This time for the 3 breaths, we're gonna come up a little bit on the inhale. On lève juste un petit peu. Expiration, on descend un petit peu. 2 more. Inhale. Try to keep the knees parallel to each other. Try not to make them fall inwards as much as you can. Last one. Rise. And bring your hands to heart center. Exhale. Breathe in. Pride in the chest. Open up the heart. Longueur dans les jambes. On expire et on plonge. Fold forward. Breathe in. Halfway rise. Position de planche, chaturanga, exhale, your choice with or without the knees. Upward dog or baby cobra. Beautiful, hips up high, downward dog. One full cycle, on inspire par le nez. On ouvre la bouche, expiration. Exactement la même chose l'autre côté. Les 2 pieds ensemble, côté gauche, on inspire, left leg rises. And bring your knee to your nose, exhale. Up for your 3-legged dog. On twist. Genou gauche, coude droit. Up, breathe in. Exhale, same knee, same elbow, and we hold for 2. Press up and away, breathe in. High lunge, exhale, step the left foot through. Take your time to get there. Know that we have that moment to set up, to send the hips forward, square them off. And we're going to find our twists. Take a deep breath in. Twist towards your left leg, exhale. Hold those arms open for 1 full cycle. Breathe in back to center. Keep the left knee open and away from the midline as you turn over to the right. So imagine somebody's kind of opening up that knee a little bit. Yeah. Breathe in, come back to center. Flush it out with a flow. Exhale, hands come down, step back. Planche, chaturanga. On inspire, come up with the back and the chest. And curl into the toes, exhale, down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. Coming high to the toes, bend the knees, step, step, walk, or gently float, halfway rise. Exhale brings us to fold. Inhale, circling up. Hands to heart center, exhale. Pressing the thumbs into the sternum for 2. Keeping the eyes closed, dropping our arms by our sides, mountain pose for 3. Really counteracting all of that movement with a moment of stillness. Last one. Une dernière fois. When you're ready, coming back to your space by slowly blinking your eyes open. Maybe you shake it out a little bit. Come back into the body. I'm going to ask you to try to travel just through the length of your mat here. So if you're standing at the top, on va juste repositionner pour être à longueur avec nos tapis et on ouvre les jambes le plus qu'on peut confortablement. So you want to be comfortable, but you also want to challenge yourself a little bit. We're going to pigeon toe our feet out slightly. So just instead of your toes pointing forward, une petite ouverture avec les orteils. So instead of your feet pointing fully forward, just flag them out a little bit. We're going to get into the hips a little bit, bending into the knees, and just slowly shifting the body weight side to side. Maybe gradually finding a little bit more length in our legs as we move. Just do this for 1 or 2 more breaths. Come back to center with stillness. Find a lot of length in the spine. Take a deep breath in. We're going to drop down the right shoulder and press the right knee away from us. Breathe in, come back up. Même chose de l'autre côté. L'épaule gauche descend. Et pendant qu'on descend, on ouvre les jambes. Press your legs open 1 more time each side. Back to center on the inhale. Right dips down first. Encore au milieu, on inspire, côté gauche, left side, come down. Good. Come back to center and lengthen the legs, reach the arms up. Point the toes forward, hinge at the hips, and fold, wide-legged forward fold. So if you have blocks nearby and your hands don't exactly reach the floor, this is a beautiful option. You're bringing the floor closer to you. If your hands do reach the floor, by all means, you can come down, sending the hips and the sits bones up high to the sky, trying to bring more weight into the toes. Je sais que des fois, ça peut être un peu, it could be a little scary, thinking of sending the weight forward, but remember, you have enough discernment to catch yourself here. Finding that length behind the legs, 2 more, un autre 2. Good. On your next inhale, finding a halfway lift, breathe in. Soften the knees and begin to heel toe the feet a little bit closer together. And then bend into the knees, and we're going to come all the way down onto our bum. So we have 2 options here. If you don't have blocks close by, it's perfectly fine. You can just plant your hands on the floor. If you do have blocks, you want to position them right beside you, where you have enough room to keep your legs crossed, but also keeping the blocks somewhat close by, okay? I'm gonna show what it looks like for both cycles, but what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 cycles where we're gonna hold the breath 3 breaths. And what we're going to do is keeping the legs crossed, even if you only rise up a teeny tiny little bit, we're trying to work on the core and also the shoulder strength. Like I said, we're working towards crow today. So either hands come onto the blocks, or if you don't have any blocks, that's perfectly fine. You won't rise up nearly as high, but that's fine. You just want to disengage the sits bones from the floor. On veut juste décoller les fessiers du tapis un petit peu. C'est pas nécessaire d'être vers le ciel. We don't have to go all the way up to the heavens. We just want to come up a little bit, engage the core, and come back down. Fait qu'on va faire ça 4 fois, 3 respirations chaque fois. So either blocks at the ready or hands planting down onto the floor, easy bend into the legs, and we're going to press into the blocks or the mat. Take a deep breath in and lift. Drop down on the third. Shake out your wrists, release that. We're doing faster breaths, obviously. I'm working more on the core strength rather than lengthening out those breaths. We have all practice to work on those long inhales and exhales. Second time, engage, breathe in and lift. Drop down. Shake it out. You can even just pull your fingertips closer to you to release that in the wrists. We have our third cycle, hands to the mat or to the blocks. Breathe in, engage, and lift. Drop. Shake, shake, shake. Shake it out. And we have one more, y'all. You're doing great. Last one. Press the hands into the mat or into the blocks. Engage and lift. On inspire. Drop. If you have blocks, just move them out of the way. Shake it out, roll the wrists. Quick side body stretch, circle the arms up, breathe in. Drop over to the right side, right hand comes down, bend into the right elbow, reach and open up the heart, take 2. Inhale to rise, take your time, and then we slowly switch sides. Bend into the left, reach with the right. Come up. Les mains en prière, hands in a prayer pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. So I really wanted to get us back to a really nice, stable heart rate and breath because we are going to be doing a whole ton of moving. We're going to do warrior 1, flow, warrior 2, flow, dancing warrior, flow, and then we're going to do all of it together, warrior 1 to 2 to dancing, and then flow to close that up, and then we're going to do that on the other side, and then we're going to be nice and super warm for crow. So that's why enjoy all of this space that you have in your lungs. Slowly make your way back up to a standing. You can even roll yourself up slowly. Je vous encourage de dérouler lentement. Shake it out. And so we're going to start with a flow. Come to the top of your mat. Inhale, circle the arms up to rise. Your choice. You can keep your hands in prayer or swan dive on the fold. Exhale. On inspire, demi-remontée, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop into your plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Elbows always glued to the sides. Find your back bend. Breathe in, up dog or baby cobra. Hips up high, exhale, down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. From here, setting up into our warrior 1, guerrier 1, pied droit. On inspire, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot through the hands. Hop forward slightly with the left foot and turn the toes 45 degrees. On inspire, les points des doigts vers le ciel. Expiration, on descend dans le genou en avant. So bend into that front knee, back foot is completely contacted on the floor for one more breath. Inhale, lengthen the front leg, reach your arms up. And then exhale, bend back into the front knee, step back into your plank, chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Les deux pieds ensemble. Right leg to rise, breathe in. Step the foot through the hands, turn the back toes 90 degrees, 90 dans les orteils en arrière. Windmill the arms up and over. Les bras sont parallèles avec le plancher et on descend dans le genou en avant. Take a breath in and out. One more in and out. Turning the torso fully to face the front leg, breathe in. So you're in a high lunge. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back, flow it out. Exhale. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Take a breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Back into warrior two so we can find dancing warrior. Breathe in, right leg up. Step the foot through, exhale. Turn back toes 90 degrees. Breathe in, windmill the arms. Flip the front palm and exhale. Dance out your warrior. Keep the bend in the front knee for two. And one. Come back to warrior two. Then find your high lunge. Turn the torso, turn onto the toes. Exhale, plank, chaturanga. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Lots of movement. Stay here for one full cycle, in and out. On inspire. Et on expire. Tous les guerriers ensemble, les guerrières. We're all ladies here right now, so let's call it that. Les deux pieds ensemble, on inspire, encore pied droit. So we're doing warrior one. Look forward, step the right foot through. Hop forward slightly, 45 with the toes. Breathe in. Sink into your front knee, warrior one. Hold for one breath. Press into the front leg, find length, breathe in. Open up the back toes and drop the arms. Warrior two, hold for two. From here, dancing warrior, flip the front palm et on danse. On garde toujours l'activation dans le genou en avant. Une dernière respiration. Guerrier 2, warrior 2. High lunge, breathe in. Exhale, plant the hands down, step back, chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, breathe in. On ouvre la bouche, expiration, down dog. Remember, if you are over all of the flows at a certain point, you can always skip chaturanga and the back bend and just meet us right in our down dog. This is really your practice. Fait qu'on a fait tout ça côté droit. Maintenant, même chose côté gauche. On commence avec guerrier 1. Les deux pieds ensemble, left leg to rise. Breathe in. Look forward, step the foot through, back toes 45. Breathe in, rise. Exhale, sink into your warrior and hold. 2. Think of the abdominals, think of the pelvis. Last one. Find length, breathe in. And exhale, bend into the front knee, hands come down, step back. You can either skip chaturanga or flow it out. Back bend, always good, either up dog or baby. Good, down dog, exhale. Warrior 2, left leg comes up, breathe in, guerrier 2. Expiration, pied gauche entre les deux mains, 90 degrees en arrière, 90 degrees. And then we windmill up and sink forward. Good, hold for 2. Turn to face the left leg. So we pivot into a high lunge and then we plant the hands down, step back, plank to chaturanga or down dog. On ouvre la poitrine entre les bras. Good. Down dog. Breathe in and out. Dancing warrior, left leg up. Look forward, step the foot through, turn the back toes 90 degrees. We travel through warrior 2 first for a moment, guerrier 2 pour un petit moment. Et après ça, on trouve notre guerrière danseuse. Pretty confident that sounded wrong. But keep that engagement in the front knee and travel back through your warrior 2 into your high lunge. That's the breath in. And plant it down, step back, exhale. Breathe in and out. OK, tout le monde, on mélange tout ça ensemble. En premier, on respire. Take a breath in and out. And warrior 1, 2, and dancing. Kick it up, left leg, breathe in. Step it through, guerrier 1. On inspire, 45 degrees en arrière. One more. On engage la jambe en avant, on inspire, long leg in the front, open up, and then exhale, drop, warrior 2 for 2. Beaucoup d'activité dans les deux bras. Flip the front palm. Keep the exact same bend you have in the front knee as you dance out your warrior for 2. Good. Travel through your warrior and then turn the torso, engage the back toes, high lunge. Exhale, hands down, step back, position de planche, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra. Soupirez, let it go. Take a deep breath in. And drop down into child's pose. Exhale, knees nice and wide, big toes to touch. Let your bum travel towards your heels. Et le front vient sur le tapis, forehead on the mat. Really nice and passive for 3. Alrighty, bring the hands to frame your face, les mains sur chaque côté de nos visages. Chin tucks into the chest as you slightly roll yourself up. So we're gonna come into a little bit of explanation time. So if you need to take a sip of water or towel off, this is a fantastic time. I'm gonna be giving us options here. So if number one, we're not sure what crow is. Crow is when we tuck the knees into the armpits and we travel forward, maybe lifting up our feet, maybe not. That's not the absolute goal, but I'm just letting us know that is the apex of our class today. That's what we've been working towards. If that is too much for you, I'm gonna talk us into a yogi squat, which you can also, if you have either a blanket or a block close by, this is really, really great to help bring the floor closer to your sits bones. But remember, this isn't an excuse to like hang out, okay? So you're using this as a way to kind of just keep you accountable, keep your hips active, and maybe hover on that block. So this is a really great option if you're really not feeling crow today, or if you're just, it's not part of your practice and it's something that makes you feel a little bit alienated. This is a really nice way to still be engaged, to work on your hips, and maybe to kind of hover over that block or no block at all. So this is the option to come into if we're not doing crow today. Second option is you can use the blocks as well so that you don't feel like you're flying so far away, and you can kind of play with lifting up your feet or bringing your toes to touch. If you've never worked with blocks before, but you've worked with the floor, then that's perfectly fine. That is what I'm going to do today, but you have many options. So if you're coming into crow, what we're first going to do is just find some nice extension. If you're coming into yogi squat, you can slowly start to make your way into it. So you're kind of pigeon toeing your feet, a nice sumo squat, and you may need to finesse your hips down a little bit. Work your way into bringing your elbows to the insides of your knees and your hands in prayer. If we're doing crow, our hands are further ahead than underneath our shoulders. On veut pas que les mains soient directement en dessous nos épaules. You want to walk them a foot or so forward. We're going to engage the legs by peeling the heels off, bending into the knees and trying to tuck the knees into the armpits. And then as you start to shift your body weight forward, pressing your knees into the backs of your arms and maybe slowly coming forward, maybe you lift a bit and you pop back down. So this is a really great way to practice if you're afraid of the fly, to come up and then down. If you're working on maintaining your flight, Your knees are as high up into your armpits as possible, and you're trying to close the gap. So you're not trying to close your legs, but you're trying to bring the knees a little bit closer together so that you're not frogging your legs out, okay? For those of you in sumo squat or yogi squat, I haven't forgotten about you. Everybody is gonna maintain whatever choice they have found for this practice for 2 more full cycles. If you're ready, you can slowly come down, or if it's part of your practice, you can pop into your chaturanga and come down. If you were in a yogi squat, you're gonna lean forward, place your hands onto the mat, and exhale deeply. Everybody meeting in a little bit of a wide-legged forward fold. Last one. Très lentement, on marche les pieds ensemble, presque complètement. Un pli dans les genoux et on déroule. Slowly roll up to rise. Roll your shoulders back. Shake out your wrists if you use them quite a bit there for that practice or that part of the practice. And we're going to find balancing today. We're going to make it really simple and easy. Hand on the knee, open it up. And opening up the arm and then bringing in a little twist with it. Otherwise, we're keeping it simple for balancing. So take a nice deep breath in and out. On commence avec les mains sur les hanches. Hands are on your hips. Weight is in your left foot and you're going to bring your right knee up in line with your hip. Genou droit en ligne avec les hanches. Main droite sur le genou droit. Hands on your right knee, so right hand, right knee. And you're going to open up, keeping that flexion in the foot. On pousse les 4 coins de nos pieds gauches dans le tapis. Si ça nous aide ou non, if you're challenged or if this helps you, notice that extending your arm might weigh out this balance that you've created. If you want to trick yourself a little bit more, maybe think of gazing away from your bent knee, looking over to the left side where your extended arm is. If you lose balance, you can just tap your toe down and come back to your pose without frustration. That's the key. I know the ankle is starting to burn, so now we're gonna bring the right knee forward, genou droit au milieu. Cette fois-ci, main gauche sur le genou droit. Breathe in, reach your right arm up, and then sweep it down and back behind you. Pressing your right knee into your left hand. Je sais que ça brûle pour moi aussi. We want it to burn in the ankle. Breathe in, come back to center, and drop the right foot down, exhale and fold. You have the option to stay here or flush that out with a flow. Breathe in, halfway lift. Plank to chaturanga. Exhale, remember there's always choice. Breathe in. Upward dog or baby cobra. Down dog for the exhale. On inspire. Et on ouvre la bouche, on expire. High to the toes, bend the knees, step walk or gently float, halfway lift. Et on plonge. Breathe in to rise. This is our last standing pose. Hands to your heart, exhale. If you need to take a moment, shake it out. We're giving a little bit of a reprieve to that left ankle. And now this time, left knee in line with the hip. Flexion toujours dans la pied. Même genou, même main. Same hand, same knee, open it up. Before making any mods, you want to make sure that you have found stillness first, and then maybe add the arm. Fait que c'est pas absolument efficace si on n'a pas de balance puis on commence de rajouter des petits trucs qui rendent la position plus difficile. On veut trouver la balance en premier, first and foremost. Guiding that left knee forward, switching hands, main droite à l'extérieur. You want your hand on the outside of your knee. Breathe in, sweep the arm up, And then sweep it back. Les points des doigts vers l'arrière. Et la main gauche est à l'extérieur de nos genoux. Excuse-moi, main droite à l'extérieur de nos genoux. Come back up to center, breathe in. This is our last flow, y'all. Drop the foot. On peut tourner si on était tourné, puis on plonge. Exhale and fold. On inspire pour un demi-remontée. Notre dernière position de planche, last plank pose, Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, breathe in. Curl the toes. Downward dog. Take 2 here. When you're ready, come down onto your knees. Take a moment to towel off, sip any water if need be. And extend the legs out in front of you. On enlève les, on veut pas enlever les fessiers, but you want to lift up the bum. On fait décoller les fessiers juste un petit peu pour trouver de l'espace. You also want to feel the sits bones really, really dig in here. Extension in the legs, flexion in the feet. We're going to make this a really nice passive forward fold. So you're going to breathe in and reach your arms up. And then hinge at the hips, maintaining a micro bend in the knees as you fold and allow your arms or your hands to drop wherever it is that feels most comfortable. Même si on trouve un rondeur dans le dos, même si le front pointe vers les jambes, on veut enlever les épaules de nos oreilles toujours. So try not to scrunch your cervical spine. That's the part of your spine that's where your neck and your shoulders reside. You want to shoulder relax. Drop them out, make them heavy away from the ears. Keeping that flexion in the feet, so pushing your heels away as you feel that juicy extension right behind the knees for 2. Allow your hands to come by the sides of your legs if they're not already there. And as you roll up, just let them glide. On veut que les mains glissent sur les côtés de nos jambes pendant qu'on déroule. And you're in a staff pose here, so your back is nice and tall. Keeping the legs flexed, the feet flexed, the legs long. Just take a moment to realign the body. We have 2 options here for our figure 4 or thread the needle. You can do this sitting. So what you would do is you would scoot the bum up. We're going to start with the right leg. You can extend it and bring the right foot to the left knee. And just think of approaching your bum and your heel to one another. This is a modified version. Some people find the version on their back too much. If this is not enough for you, then simply come onto the back nice and slowly. And your 2 hands are going to frame your left thigh. So you want to stick your one hand through that little hole you've created. Relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Les mains sont en arrière ou par-dessus le genou gauche. So behind or below your left knee, flexion in the right foot as you exhale and pull that left leg into your body. Every time you exhale, the belly should deflate. So your belly button should be coming down towards your spine, therefore giving yourself a bit of space to pull the leg. It doesn't mean that the thigh needs to be completely glued to the chest. It just means that when we inhale, the belly should fill. And when we exhale, the belly should descend. And when we exhale, that's where we pull that leg in. 2 more breaths here, figure 4. We're going to soften the hands from the left leg, place the left foot onto the floor. Pied gauche sur le tapis. Lentement, extension dans le jambe droit. Right leg extends and then drops all the way down to the floor. So the right leg is long. Left knee is still bent, bring it into the chest. Right hand on the outside of the left knee. We're gonna find our supine twist. Gently roll onto your right hip, pick it up and underneath you. So you wanna stack the hips. Si le pied gauche ne vient pas sur le tapis ou sur le plancher, c'est correct, on peut lui placer sur la jambe droite. So you don't have to be so deeply twisted that you can't breathe. We're gonna take 3 here. Last one, une dernière respiration. In your own time, make your way back to center, neutral spine, both feet come onto the floor. If you'd like, you can flush that out with a little windshield wiper with the legs. Make sure not to just fly your legs side to side. And we're gonna come back to our figure 4 first. So knees are bent, left leg extends, pied gauche vers le ciel. Et puis après ça, on place le pied gauche sur le genou droit. And this is where we think of the knee dropping away from the body. Lifting up the foot on the right side to bring our leg closer to the body. On peut fermer les yeux ici. Et pendant qu'on tire la jambe droite, on veut penser que quelqu'un ou nous-mêmes pousse le genou gauche. So imagine that you're pushing, or in a really ideal place, we were in person. And I was able to come and give you a really nice loving adjustment while placing the hand on the knee and just kind of pushing that gently away from the body. It doesn't actually have to be done. The mind is a very powerful thing. Just by thinking about pushing it away, do we begin to feel that activation. Slowly release the grip from your right leg. Pied droit sur le tapis, right foot down. Extend the left leg to the sky and take your time to slowly lower it to the floor. Right knee bends into the chest. Toujours la main opposée à l'extérieur de nos jambes. So opposite hand guides that leg over. Notice, it would be really uncomfortable to keep your hip exactly where it is. You want to pick it up and tuck it underneath, so that you really find the optimal twist. On peut toujours garder vers le ciel ou sinon vers la main droite. Gently, slowly, with intention, come back to center. Lengthen out the spine. Le dos est complètement neutre et parallèle avec le plancher, avec la terre. Les deux genoux vers le corps. We're going to close up with a nice squeeze. Wrapping your arms around your legs or just grabbing for your legs, whatever's most accessible. And as you breathe in, lift up the head, neck, and shoulders. Imagine your forehead coming as close to your knees as possible. Take a deep breath in here and hold that breath. On garde ici pour 3, 2 et 1. On expire par la bouche, puis on relâche tout. Exhale out the mouth, Shavasana, let it go. Legs are long or knees are bent. Again, as I said at the beginning of class, it's always about checking in with what the base of the spine needs. We want to make sure that we're turning the palms to face the sky. Les paumes tournent vers le ciel. On ne veut pas fermer l'énergie, on veut ouvrir. Même si c'est la fin du cours, even if it's the end of class, even though we're closing, we want to keep us in the receptive mode. Palms open, always receiving. Dialing into the breath. And at this time, I want you to just imagine all of the amazing things that your body does for you on a daily basis. On veut penser de tous nos systèmes de digestion, de circulation, de respiration. Your nervous system, your lymphatic system. Each and every one of these systems is held in this beautiful body of yours. And even if you've had moments of struggling with the body, with the way that it looks, with the way that it feels, with maybe each passing day feeling certain things not being as easy as they used to be, remember in this moment, the last 60 minutes, that your body floated the way that it flowed, the way that it stretched, the way that it expressed, and the way that it breathed for you. Le trajet avec nos corps, c'est pas toujours facile. The journey with our body is not always linear. We can take even a moment to reflect on how precious and how wonderful it really is. Je vous invite ici de garder vos yeux fermés. Keep your eyes closed as you take your last full cycle in Shavasana. And begin to awaken your fingers and your toes. Even maybe finding a full body stretch if that feels really nice. And then when you're ready, rolling onto one side. And slowly pressing the hand in front of your chest, lengthening the top leg and peeling yourself up and away from the floor. Finding an easy seat as we close practice together. So spine is nice and tall, roll your shoulders back. Encore les yeux fermés. On va inspirer 3 fois ensemble, 3 breaths together. Deep breath in through the nose. Really let it out, let it all out. Really let your jaw fall on this last one. Deep breath in, really feel the air pull in through the nostrils. Heavy jaw. Keeping your eyes closed. On peut garder les mains sur les genoux ou les mains en prière, whichever you're most comfortable with. And just as we did on our backs, I would like you to take this moment to thank your body, to be in awe of your body, to remember everything that it does for you. On remercie toujours cette pratique, cette géniale pratique qu'on peut faire, même si on n'est pas en personne, mais on peut toujours faire ça ensemble. We can keep this community energy by practicing together. C'est moi qui vous remercie de partager vos respirations, votre énergie et votre pratique avec moi. Thank you for allowing me the honor to guide you. And as usual, and as always, I remind you to choose courage over comfort. Namaste.